What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, yet again. Now, funny enough, and this is not exactly funny, but I find it in my cruel, twisted world to be funny, I actually made a video on this game that was supposed to go up this upcoming Sunday, in just 2 days from now, where I talk about if the game is in trouble, if the game is going to get delayed. So I am a prophet. I am, that kind of fortune teller that I could see this coming. But no, in reality, a lot of us saw this coming. This is not the biggest shock. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. It's disappointing. It's annoying, okay? But at the same time, we kind of, I think all of us saw it coming. And I should say this too early on, because you'll always have the people that say, the game will be ready when it's ready, or don't pressure them. You'll always have those people that yell at me for that stuff, even though I've never said that once in my life on this channel. So let me make it abundantly clear. I'm okay with delays. I've always been okay with delays, as long as the game, when it comes out, is better than when it would have come out, if the game wasn't delayed. So I have no problem with games getting delayed. I don't have problems with games getting delayed multiple times. However, it does get, and this is just to me, this is my personal opinion, it does get more and more annoying every single time it happens. Now, LEGO Star Wars has been delayed 3 times now, and that's not good. Okay, when a game gets delayed, I would say more than one time, you have to start looking at it, and I'm not saying like the game is doomed or the game should be canceled or there is like some messed up stuff going on. Mainly, I would go after, as in like I would blame the people that think that the game would have been ready before it was, because whoever is making the decision to say out loud and like to the public that the game can release in this window, in that window, etc., whoever that person or that group of people, is, they're to blame, okay? It definitely sucks. Here we are in April. Now, again, like, this video is just 2 days before the other video was going to go up, where I said, if the game was still supposed to come out in quote-unquote spring, it would need to be given a release date, like, right now, because if the game's coming out, say, even in May, because June, second half of June is summer, then, and then it's not a big deal if it comes out, at the end of June, but obviously that's just factually not spring, right? So you'd have to announce it relatively soon. Well, now we know that's not going to happen. One of the worrisome things here that could be taken as worrisome, could be taken as a positive if you look at it a different kind of way, which I will explain, is it's basically been delayed indefinitely, okay? They didn't give a new release date. Now, again, there could be people coming at me for how I use certain words or if I'm getting the definition right. In my opinion, if you have a release date, if you have a release window and you get rid of it and you delay the game past it, but you don't give a new one, you are delaying it indefinitely. You do not know when the game is releasing, which is basically what they said. They did say they're going to try and get information out like as soon as possible, and they'll let us know as we get closer to release when the game is coming out, but the game's delayed indefinitely. So that doesn't look good. I don't think it ever looks good, but again, it's a delay, and delays happen. It just sucks that the game was probably supposed to come out last May. Obviously, the stuff around the world, I'm sure, had a very big impact on it. Remember that trailer, and we've already talked about this before, said May. They took the trailer down. That never ended up happening. We were going into the fall expecting it. Then they said it was obviously going to be in the spring, and now here we go. I think the game needs to come out in 2021. Okay, that's what I would imagine. Like, if the game came out, if they delay it like another full year, and the game came out, middle, or like, I guess, first third even of next year, that would look, I would say, pretty darn. I mean, you could argue it already looks bad, okay? I would say it would look even worse if you did it for next year. So, hopefully, this can be like a fall game for Warner Bros. Because remember, Warner Bros. Is the publisher there. I think they would like to get this game out like at some point this year. And, they have Back for Blood in June, so I think maybe rounding it out with LEGO Star Wars. So to end this, let me just say one more time, it's not the end of the world. It's definitely disappointing. It's something, though, that I think a lot of us should have expected, considering we have another, 2 months of spring left, and you're not going to give the release date for this game, and then it will release the next day. That's never going to happen, right? So we are definitely approaching the end of when they could have giving us a release date, right? Instead of them giving us a release date saying, okay, finally, May 21st, it's out. No, instead they say, no, we're delaying it. So definitely not the thing we wanted them to say out loud, but I do predict, and my predictions are not always right. In fact, I'm kind of 50-50. I do predict that the game will still come out in 2021. So hopefully, maybe that October, November period. The interesting thing is you got to kind of look at, and we'll never know this, when did they want it? So they said spring. Were they always intending it to be May? And then say now it comes out in November. That's another that's a sizable delay again. So or did they just say spring, crossing their fingers and hoping they could get out in spring, and that never happened? You know what I mean? So it definitely depends on how they looked at it. They could have just looked at it as, hey, we want to give people hope. We want to give them a window. We don't want to give them a date. We don't even want to give them a month. We want to give them several months. We're going to try and shoot for it, probably the end of those. So probably like May is probably what they or maybe even early June, because that's technically still classified as spring. Maybe they were shooting for that and they're like, nope, we can't do it. So now we have to do maybe the fall. But instead of saying the fall, which I get, because you could say, they could have said, okay, the game's delayed and now we're releasing fall 2021. But at that point, you're doing this again. In fact, they've done this a couple times already. You know what I mean? I don't think you'd really. So I understand why it looks bad that it doesn't even have a window anymore. That's technically delayed indefinitely. Looks bad, but it may actually be better than them saying fall of 2021, because you're just going to get people more upset. It's like, you can't give us a month. You can't even give us a date. Or even the flip side, it's like, okay, well, you're just giving us a wide range. You'll probably delay it again. It doesn't really build confidence or trust. So I understand why they didn't give us a new window with the delay of this one. Final thing, it's not canceled. Please, for the love of God, don't tell me in the comments it's canceled, because that's not how it works, and that's not true, okay? Let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? Are you disappointed? When do you think the game is going to release? Let me know in the comments. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed here. Bell icon turned on. If you guys want to check out two things. One, my Twitter, Podcast Now 15 is my Twitter handle. Links in the description. And also my second channel, Podcast Now Plus. Same thing. Links in the description. Now, you can look those up, obviously, on Twitter or on YouTube, but I'd really appreciate your guys' support there. Thank you all so much for watching. If there's ever any news on this game, I'll be sure to cover it. I hope to see you guys there.